We are minutes away from being farther along in Signal Void than ever. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more. Oh, it's dark. Hold on. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. It's really dark. Let's play some more of the Long Dark and our Against All Odds series. So we are in Carter Hydro. We have fully scavenged the place. I don't even know why I'm peeking my head back down in this direction. Maybe I'm just being thorough. Maybe that's the thinking. But yeah, we are headed back for the entrance of Carter Hydro. I left a bunch of stuff, much to the shock of every onlooker in the last episode, because I actually somewhat managed my overburdened self effectively. Or at least it shocked me. Maybe it didn't shock you. And then from that point forward, we can go to Bleak Inlet, finally. We're going to the top portion of Bleak Inlet first, because I don't know... In case you're just jumping in and you missed this, I've never done Signal Void before. I've attempted the first few steps of it in the last few series that I've done. And now we are at a point where we're caught up and we're actually ready to continue. And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what I'm looking for. I just know I'm investigating a signal. That's all I have. So, let's find out. So I'm headed that direction, and I figured it would be better to start from the top half of the zone, just to make sure that I don't end up on the bottom half and then realize I needed to go to the top first. Which just seems like sound strategy. I guess I do need a lantern out, don't I? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It's been a pretty straightforward couple of days in-game. No close calls with any wolves. Lots of good loot. We are well fed. We have lots of new things to sort of sort through. But lots of just progress in the last little while. Right, yeah, I thought I saw that. Right, there's some scrap metal that I didn't get the first time. I did check the trash can. Okay, let me just look through here one more time since I'm here. Yep, there's the antiseptic that I dropped the first time. Anything underneath? Apparently I missed a rifle round somewhere in here. I'll be honest, I don't have the comment right in front of me, but it's one rifle round, so I will probably be okay. And it's probably farther back into the dam than I really want to go right now. But yeah, apparently I missed a rifle round somewhere. Who knows, maybe it's like somewhere right near me, and I'm just not seeing it. But for now, let's go ahead and get all this stuff back out. We left some things here and here.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Oh, you're fine. All right, so we have this fresh deer hide, which I will go ahead and pick back up. We'll bring that with us. Now, yeah, I definitely won't be bringing all of this with me. So we're going to have to make some executive decisions here. The wood, first of all, I will drop. I do need to read those books. I've been staring at that for a moment. I have some fire strikers, so I can drop the 2 lower condition fire strikers, although, you know, I talked about that last episode, and there's reason to kind of hold on to all of them. Maybe if it were a higher difficulty playthrough, I would. But to tell you the truth, I'm not particularly concerned about it. Yeah, I'm starting to carry a lot of kind of everything, so I'm actually going to go back to this. And what we're going to do is just put away some of the stuff that's burdensome and unnecessary. Like the extra painkillers. I'll keep the 1 go energy drink, I suppose. We do have some extra clothing items to break down, which I'll do in a moment. Lots of food. And anything that can really put away here? I'll put away 4 of the flare shells. There are certain commenters that are rejoicing right now. Let's see. A couple of those. Stump remover. You know, the scrap metal is interesting because we will need more scrap metal at some point, but right now it is very, very heavy to be carrying this around. So what I'm going to do is transfer all but 5. And I might even transfer more of that away. But the idea being, if I have the 5 on me, then I have the 5 that I need to repair any additional signal towers, which I only think there's 1 more that I need to repair anyway. So, you know, I don't need to worry about lugging too much of that stuff around, at least for signal void purposes. There are other reasons to, you know, have that particular item. But, alright, first things first, let's go ahead. I do want to enjoy these Bannocs while I still can. Their condition is starting to degrade, so let's do that. These aren't the heaviest items, so it's not helping me too much with my encumbrance, but it's a step in the right direction. I'm going to have to leave a lot behind, though. Kind of knew that coming into this episode, but it's very obvious as I look through my inventory that I am carrying far more than I can afford to actually lug out of here. Unless I use the Travelall, which I'm not going to do. Because I feel like I've lugged that thing around enough in this particular series, and I'm only going to use it when I absolutely have to. I guess one thing I can do, since I'm going to be here for a minute longer, let's leave the deer hide down so it's still curing. Okay. Clothing-wise, we're going to harvest that. And then there's a windbreaker, or light shell, rather, that we're going to harvest. And finally, that tooth. Condition-wise, everything else is pretty good. I can probably repair some of my items to use some cloth and reduce my encumbrance that way a bit. But I don't feel particularly worried about that. Oh, I still have this extra insulated flask, which I don't need, so I can drop that. Lots of hooks. Let's go ahead and sort by weight. Alright, mostly good there. I have a lot of lantern fuel. Hold on, let's go ahead and refuel the lantern. Alright, that leaves me with some lantern fuel. We're still very encumbered, so we're not out of the woods yet. And the main issue is food. Let's go ahead and eat a piece of this MRE just to fully top off the stomach. And what we'll probably end up doing is leaving a bunch of the food behind, because we have the MREs. And we can come back if we need to for some of these items. Okay, so I can also drop those books. Okay, this is a really good opportunity for me to go ahead and get some reading done while still sitting here waiting for this deer hide to cure. We're not going to wait for the whole thing to cure, but it gives me an excuse. So let's go ahead and research for 4 hours. Looks like we're going to get maybe all of them. Nope, not quite. If I had started like a moment sooner, that would have been fine. But that's still good progress. And the nice thing about this, especially with the larger book, you know what, hold on. Just in case an aurora starts, I would really not want to be caught on top of the wires here. Make sure I'm seeing all of them. Not a situation I want to end up in. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so let's put this here. Yeah, so by passing some time and sleeping and just getting this reading done while here, that will also give me the opportunity to eat and drink more things before we head to Bleak Inlet. Part of me is tempted to go ahead and head that way, just regardless. It seems like I should be able to read here. Have you noticed that? I mean, look how brightly lit this seems at the moment. It's upsetting that I can't actually read something right now. Alright, so we got a blizzard outside. That's another pound of encumbrance gone. Well, we're definitely not going anywhere during a blizzard, but I will go ahead and sleep for 6 hours. And then hopefully... Alright, blizzard is going away. Sun's coming up, perfect timing. So let's go ahead and finish reading those books. Now the other one's going to take longer to read. That's much more of an investment than the first. That's okay. Because we have these MREs to kind of fuel the process. And then I can drop the extra... I can just be rid of this weight and not have to worry about it. So... we're going to do 5 hours at a time. I'll use the MREs to keep the stomach topped off. Should work pretty damn well, all considered. Honestly, I should have drank that soda first. But I didn't want to go straight to my water there. Obvious reasons. I'm going to go ahead and drop that crude bannock. It's a little bit too low condition-wise. Okay, next. Oh wait, I don't think I've actually allowed my skill to progress. Hold on. Hello? Oh wow. I guess the first book didn't quite... Look at this. That is unreal. Yeah, it didn't quite get me to level 4. I thought it would, just based on what I saw when I was reading it. But apparently not. There's that. Okay. I mean, I can try to read a little bit more. I'm not going to get a lot done. Okay, too dark to read. We're about halfway through, which is more or less what I expected. Notice I'm down to 110. Moments ago I was at 115, so this is working. Okay, should be good. Let's sleep for 6 hours. And then we should be able to take care of the rest, especially if I manage this timing quite well. We'll see what I can get away with here. Perfect. We're going to finish that MRE. Consume this one. Well, not the whole one, but some of it. And now we can... let's pass time for, like, say 2 hours. And then if I can sleep for 2... Oh, hello. We have an aurora. Remember, auroras are frequent in this particular custom code, so I'm not worried about, like, capitalizing on an aurora when I see it. That's just not something... You know, I could have used that to read, now that I think about it. I'll do that right now. I'm not too worried about capitalizing on aurora whenever I see them. Nice. Because there will be others, is kind of the vibe. There will be more. They've definitely been noticeably more frequent in the last couple of series since I turned that code on. Or I should say that aspect of the code. Okay. We might get away with this. And of course there's a storm outside. Of course there is. Let's eat that tomato soup while it's still at 60% condition. Yes, absolutely. We're going to do that. Also the sardines while they're still at 74% condition. Not that we can trust 74% sardines. You can never trust sardines. Well, maybe you can trust 90% sardines. But doesn't mean I want to. Doesn't mean I'm thrilled about thinking about it. Okay. Nice. This might do it. Yep, that's going to do it. That's all of it. Perfect. And this timing is honestly kind of great because I can take those books. We're going to drop those. I'm still pretty encumbered. How much skill did that give me, by the way? I haven't really paid close attention to that in a while. Okay, it wasn't a lot. But that's going to be handy for, you know, dealing with timberwolves, which we will be doing before long. So we're just shy of 20 pounds encumbered. There's not a lot else that I can really get rid of, which is unfortunate. If I had the technical backpack, which I could move toward right now, that would help. So that might be a near-term objective. But first things first, we need to get to the next step in Signal Void. Okay, I think that's about as much as I want to have done. The question is, how much will I be able to do at this particular... Or you know what? Hold on. We need to rest. So for just one moment longer... I'm going to put that down. That's what I was actually going to the menu for. There we go. And yeah, let's sleep for 6 hours. It'll still be nighttime. And now we are headed into Bleak Inlet. Well, to the ravine, and then to Bleak Inlet. But assuming that the weather remains this good... Let's go ahead and have those sardines for a little bit of water and food. Perfect. Now we're only about 16 pounds encumbered. 61 days, not bad. Perfect. All right, it's the middle of the night. It is not that cold, all things considered. Now, the one thing I'm not sure of is whether I will be able to find rope easily. I should on these loot tables. I should, but we don't know for sure. All right, let's get the rifle out just in case. I don't hear any howling. I don't hear any footsteps. Yeah, the wolf is nowhere nearby. All right. Finally leaving Mystery Lake. It's crazy that we've spent the entirety of our sort of journey so far on this side of Mystery Lake. Or I should say on the opposite side of Mystery Lake. We've avoided this side of Mystery Lake. We haven't gone this way. We haven't been to Pleasant Valley. We haven't been to Coastal Highway. We haven't been to Desolation Point. We just haven't been to, like, more than half of the original areas of the map from, like, 2014, 2015, 2016. We just haven't touched them yet. This is our first visit to the ravine, period. Alright, so there will be some cattails for me to grab here, but first things first, I want to head along the train tracks and see if I can spot a rope in the train car itself, which is the first place where it might be. Don't really need the rifle out anymore. It's a nice night, at least. Good visibility. I see some birch bark, so I'll probably be harvesting that. Haven't had birch bark tea in a while, so it'd be handy to have some of that. Wait a minute. Hold on. That awkward moment when Hadrian sees something that he's never seen before. What's this? That's a bunny. Jesus. So rude, bunny. What is this? Is this just a, like, a hidey hole from the wind? Hang on, maybe there's something all the way back here in the corner? Yeah. Just a... It's good to know that this is here. I don't think... Alright, look. If I've been back here, I think the last time I was here might have been in the very early days of, like, Coastal Highway. Because I can't remember being in this space when it looked like this. Because, you know, those of you who've been playing the game for a long time, you know that the grass hasn't always looked like this. So I've probably been in that space before, but not when it looked like that. I'm scaring the crap out of this poor bunny. Well, he scared the crap out of me, so what do you want? And I keep scaring him. So rude. Very quiet, calm night. I have my bedroll. There's a part of me that's grateful that I finally validated that paranoia a little bit. Not that paranoia is something that should be validated. It absolutely shouldn't be. But I always worry so much about whether or not I have my bedroll. And I finally hit a point where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, that thing you always wonder about, you actually forgot it this time. Well done. Okay. So I see some coal, which I will pick up the coal on account of potentially needing to have a fire before long. I'm not going to even pick up that thin wool sweater, to be honest, because I just don't need to. Alright, there's some scrap metal. I'm not going to pick that up. I've got what I need. That's a flare. That is more coal. And that is mountaineering rope. Perfect. Alright, so there's a jerry can. I don't really need the jerry can. Let's go ahead and get the lantern out, because there's a good chance there's like rifle rounds or revolver rounds laying around in here. Nope, I guess not. I suppose not. Okay. You know what would be cool? It's unlikely to be added to this point. It's very unlikely. But because that train car is kind of dangling off a ledge, wouldn't it be awesome if when you stepped into that train car there was a little bit of motion? I think it'd be cool. Some of you might not agree. I think it'd be neat though. Alright, getting pretty cold. We're going to have to use some of that coal more or less right away. The mountaineering rope is weighing me down, as I knew it would. So we're going to cut across the water here. This is going to work really well, though, because by the time I have the rope deployed, I'll be able to double back to the cave, maybe light a fire, rest for a bit, and then it will be daytime. And hopefully the weather will be decent. Maybe. Oh. That's the sound of an aurora potentially about to start. We'll have to see how that goes. But for now, I'm just focused on getting to the climbing point. And mind you, I will definitely have to drop some things when it's time to climb. I'll be forced to. But I wanted to at least make it out here with an excess of supplies. I could leave that deer hide in the cave here in the ravine. That's one thing I could definitely offload in a sensible way. You know, when they do the wildlife refresh, which I don't know that they've confirmed which update that's coming in, but there's a pretty good chance at this point that it's going to be in the next one. And then, of course, an even better chance it'll be in the one after that. But I wonder if they'll add any hostile wildlife to the ravine here. Because we never have to worry about wolves here. And that would be one way to really mix up this particular area of the map, which so many of us are so familiar with. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it for that reason, because it's so different from years of established expectations. Alright, so we're going to lose a bit of condition to the cold here.
Do I, if I don't warm up?
You are fine, don't be a baby. Alright, so there's a deer. I am kind of tempted to take some meat off that deer, but I'm not going to worry about it. You know one thing I could do, though? How long will it take? Hold on, let's grab the birch bark. I haven't been paying attention to this because I've been lugging that rope around. But let's head over here, first of all. Grab some feathers, too. there a third one anywhere? I'm sure there is. It's just hiding from me. How long would the hide take? 27 minutes. You know what? That's 27 minutes I don't want to spend standing in the cold. Partially freezing to death. Let's not do that. Although, after I warm up, I might put that time in. Alright, so there's a little bit more birch bark. I always think the cave is like right here, but it's actually farther back. It's up here to the left. I was so ready to like be inside the cave and be warming up. I'm still here freezing my ass off. Okay. Sorry, Jennifer, I'm not doing this to you on purpose. I promise. I promise. I promise. Okay, there's another couple of birch bark. I'm going to grab those while I'm looking at them, especially since they're right next to each other, hanging out. Nice. Okay. Cave will be right up here. I'm sure there's more birch bark to be found. I mean, this is a very birch bark heavy zone. So I will be able to get more. I might even be able to make some. I should say prepare some in the cave. Man, that's right. I forget. It's all the way back here to the left, next to this kind of long ridge. In my head, it always moves in my mental map. It moves closer to the climbing point, and then I always have to remind myself when I come back here that it's here. See, there's the stalactites. There are these stalactites. Okay. Another deer. This one much closer to the mouth of the cave. Perfect. Oh wow. Looks like there's some food. Some firewood, which I will definitely use. Okay, first things first though. Let's drop that deer hide. And it looks like, hang on, where's the actual entrance of the cave? Right here or so. Well, that's annoying. Alright, so what I'm going to have to do is put the bedroll down like here. Good. I just want to make sure that that was in place. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and take that charcoal while I can. Add to my encumbrance. Yes, I know. I know. Alright, we're going to use an accelerant, not only to save a little bit of time, because we're nearing the end of the episode, and I would actually like to get to Bleak Inlet, if I can manage it. I'm just going to pile that coal on there, because frankly, I don't need to have that with me. Now, before I go anywhere, I do need a bit more water. You know, rather than passing time there, I could have prepared that birch bark. But there's plenty more to be found, so I can do that later. Okay, let's pick up the cooking pot. Not leave that behind unnecessarily. And now, I can have a little bit more of the MREs. We've mostly consumed those. And we should have a hopefully bright day. I do hear some wind. That's less than ideal. Yep, alright, so windy start to the day. Not what I wanted to hear. But it is what it is. Let's enjoy those sardines. Good, no food poisoning. Okay. Crap. Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave a lot behind. Yeah. I'm starting to look at that flashlight and think, you know, as nice as it is to have it. Also, the freaking travois, honestly, is a bit of a burden at the moment. The cooking skillet, I mean, I'm going to have to make a choice here. I don't want to get rid of the skillet, but one of these heavier items has to go. I can get rid of the torches. That's a fact. And I suppose I could get rid of the scrap metal and come back for it later. I just don't love that idea, so let's go ahead and do that. Because if I can help it, I don't want to, like... I don't want to go without any of my tools, but it just doesn't seem like I have a choice. Yeah, so I can drink some water. Eat some cattails, but that's just not going to do it. I am too encumbered and I need to make this climb. Yikes. I can drop half the bandages. I don't want to drop those stims if I can help it, because we're about to head into one of the more difficult zones. If I dropped most of this food, that would take care of me. I hate that idea. I do not like it. But I'm going to be able to find plenty of cattails and more food in the inlet. I'll keep the herbal tea on me. So now I still have a little bit less than 10 pounds to go here. I don't... Having the arrows on me right now is probably unnecessary. I just need to remember that I've left a good amount of stuff up here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the rest of the signal void related stuff in favor of keeping my cooking utensils on me. We're going to drop these 2 recycled cans. Okay, that's almost everything. So close. And I could drop, like, half of this. And then these. There we go. Spraying risk gone. Wow. Okay. Well, that's leaving a lot of stuff behind that I wouldn't expect it to leave behind, but that's why we need the technical backpack. So, we are headed now to the Bleak Inlet, and look at that movement speed. I hear a deer. Specifically, I hear a demon. And there will still be a cave at the bottom of this ravine, potentially with more loot. I don't really feel too bad about leaving any of that stuff behind. I just need to remember that it's there. And then when I move back through, I can either come back this way, or I can leave Bleak Inlet from the bottom portion of the zone, come back through the Muskeg, come back through Mystery Lake. I can visit a few of the last locations in Mystery Lake that I still haven't visited. There aren't that many left at this point, but there are a few. I'm just going to go straight down, because I can. And then if I did that, I would just come back the way that I came this episode and be able to stop by the cave. Or, like I said, I could just come back up this rope. And then continue to Coastal Highway, continue to Pleasant Valley, continue to Timberwolf Mountain, and to Ash Canyon, and get the frickin' technical backpack so that I don't have to drop as much stuff when I need to climb a damn rope. Okay. Here's this. Nice. Revolver ammo. Another advanced guns. I will pick that up, because there's a good chance that I will have the opportunity to read that now that I don't have any climbing to do in the near future. A little bit encumbered on account of picking that stuff up. No cattails yet, but there will be some up here. Hello, bunnies. What did I tell you? There are a few. And a deer as well. I'm going to grab these because I have a sneaking suspicion that I'll be relying on cattails a bit more than I have been in the coming episode or two. Alright, so we've got some more cedar firewood right here. Let's see. Let me just grab that and keep moving. It's going to encumber me a little bit, but I might need that for a fire momentarily. Oh, look. Another cattail was right there next to me. I almost missed it. Okay. Two more, and there's the entrance to Bleak Inlet. Believe it or not. Almost there. Only took us the entire episode, but we've arrived. And here we are in the Bleak Inlet at last. Now we still have some timber wolves to look out for. And we might have to do a little bit of dancing with wolves in order to get to the first kind of safe spot here in the top of the zone. But this is good progress forward. Just looking around, seeing where there may be more cattails. Can you even go down there? Might not be advisable to go down there. I don't see any cattails anyway. It's fine. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, our first sighting of the Timberwolves is more or less right around the corner at this point. I think they even, at some points, wander up to the very top of that ridge there, if memory serves. So I'll have to be mindful of that. But we are approaching the 38-minute mark for this episode, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this one here. In the next one, I'm going to pay a visit to the office at the top of Bleak Inlet here and see if we can discover what it is that we're supposed to be investigating. Although I imagine I'm not going to be able to do much until nighttime and an aurora. But that's one of the reasons that we have the aurora frequency turned up in this particular custom code. So hopefully we will not be waiting like we were waiting for an aurora in Blackrock in Season 7. That was a little bit more torturous. It won't be that kind of wait. Like, hoping that like once a week, in an in-game week, that we get some kind of power to a certain door that we needed to access. So I would imagine within a night or two or three at the most, we'll be able to make good on whatever this investigation is we have to pursue. And then, as I said, on to Coastal Highway, Pleasant Valley, Timberwolf Mountain. Lots still ahead of us. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along for early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges. Look for the join button. New episodes drop at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time every day but Wednesday, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.